In this brand new video, we're going to conduct a comprehensive review of the ARW-808AL Video Scope. This is a professional video scope that has a very unique feature, which includes external articulation. By using this system, we can operate a manual lever directly to control the movement of the camera head in real time. Now let's take a detailed look at exactly what's included inside the carrying case. This case is a very compact and sturdy protective case, let's say, where inside we find the instruction manual. Inside the package, we find the display unit, which is separate from the body of the instrument, along with a USB cable that serves two functions. It provides power to recharge the display and also allows you to connect the device directly to your PC. We have internal memory storage available through a micro SD card that we manually install into the device. We can connect this micro SD or the standard SD card directly to the PC for data access. Alternatively, we can connect the entire display unit directly to the computer using the provided USB cable to transfer all of the recorded images and video files. Right here, we have the main central body of the instrument along with the attached camera cable. The camera cable, which is exactly 1 meter long, cannot be extended any further than that, meaning it is a completely fixed cable. Yes, it is important to note that there are currently no optional versions available with longer lengths. It is strictly 1 meter. This affects the external maneuverability, which we will now take the time to look at in much greater detail. Now, let's go into a deep dive and take a very close look at all the specific features and the various functionalities that this professional video endoscope offers us today. As we can see, the display is separate from the main body. The device needs to be assembled to function. It is clear that it is essential to fit it all together correctly. To fit it, you simply need to place it on and apply a bit of firm pressure so that it snaps securely into place. Once we have successfully snapped the video endoscope together, we can proceed to power the unit on. The device will not function at all otherwise. The functions of the video endoscope are not wireless, so there are no remote connections available. It only works when the display is properly attached to the main body of the device. To turn on the video endoscope, you just need to firmly press the power button we have right here. And we activate the endoscope. And we will be able to observe the internal view from the camera. An interesting thing you should know is the specific location of the slot. This is exactly where the SD card slot is positioned, along with the multi-purpose USB port, which is used for charging the display and connecting devices. It is clear that the main body, the built-in camera, and every other part of the system work perfectly well, thanks to the power supply we have in the display. And it can also be connected to your personal computer via a cable to transfer data from the SD card. This includes the SD card or micro SD card that we specifically need to install directly into the slot to have reliable data storage for all your files. As we can see in the center, there is a small button, which is a reset button. Right here, we have a reset button that allows you, in the event of a system crash or a software freeze, whether it involves the display screen or any other issue, to safely unlock and reset the entire system. This specific button should only be pressed if such an issue occurs. Otherwise, under normal conditions, it should never be pressed. Now, let's take a closer look at the functions offered by this video scope. Here we have kept the protective film because it's a new device, so as not to damage the display. To gain full access to the device's many functions, we have a keypad. It is quite small and compact, consisting of 4 individual buttons conveniently located right on the handle just above the grip area. These buttons are also very easy and comfortable to press. This is because, as we can clearly see here, the device features a specialized pistol grip, and with our thumb, we can basically press any of the buttons we need at any time. By simply pressing the dedicated settings button, which is represented by the gear icon, we can immediately enter into the full settings mode. In the internal menu, we find a series of options. The first option is the resolution setting. Again, we use the position buttons. We move through the various sections, and with OK, we enable the selected option. The first option is resolution. We have the possibility to select 3 types of resolution: 640 by 480, which is the lowest, 1 megapixel 1280 by 720, and 2 megapixel 1920 by 1080. We will see later that the resolution is actually quite fascinating and also really good. This is what this device offers. Now, let's move on to the very next setting available for us to configure in the menu, which is the date label. This date label indicates whether you have the option to choose whether or not you would like to print the current date. It also includes the specific time at the exact moment when we save our files for both your high-quality images and your recorded videos. By enabling this feature, it clearly means that we are confirming the exact date and the precise moment in time that we actually recorded the video. If we select to disable this specific option, it simply means that the audio will not be recorded at all during your session. Regarding the shutter sound setting, this feature basically allows us to have a distinct audible sound whenever we activate the shutter zoom on the camera, providing helpful feedback while you are filming. Data recording. In this specific section, we also have the convenient option to either enable or disable the data recording feature depending on your preference. Once we have configured these settings, we will take a closer look at exactly how this recording process works step by step. Automatic shutdown, the classic option, and essentially auto shutdown can be disabled, or it can be set to 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Language settings menu. So here we have various languages available, including Italian, English, French, and German. We have currently selected Italian. Another useful feature is the date and time. Here we have the specific date setting. So let's go ahead and set the date now. Actually, as of right now, today is the 20th day of the month. At 2:44 minutes p.m. by holding it down. It goes automatically, but it's quite slow. Once that is successfully set, you will see the current date and time displayed directly on the main screen. Now let's move right along to the formatting process. Here it is. We are going to carefully format the card now. It is very possible that when you are installing a brand new card, you will be prompted to format it before you can proceed. Otherwise, the device simply won't save anything at all. To format the card, you can just confirm the action with OK or move over to cancel and select that instead. Now, regarding the OK button, this is the default setting. This is the standard default setup option available for us in case we have already made any specific changes to the settings. And if we want to return to the original settings, data memory, on the other hand, simply shows us the total amount of available memory currently on the device. In this specific case, we have a 120 gigabyte memory card, which is actually very, very large for this type of use. Very little data has actually been saved on the memory so far, because we can see that we still have 116 gigabytes of free space left. Another thing to note is that we have the software version always clearly displayed on the screen. There is no hidden submenu to find. It is just the version we have installed right there. At this point, let's go back. This is to exit the system. As we can see on the main screen, we have the display, and at the top part, we have an indication of the temperature. Right now, of course, the temperature is very high because it's the temperature of the print head. Why is that? Because it is specifically paired with the indicator light. This ensures that the entire process is constantly monitored, even if we happen to see what could potentially be an overheating issue with the print head. The system is equipped with a card slot. When we do not have the card properly installed, a red X will be clearly shown on the display, and then we also have the battery level indicator to check the power status. On the side, on the bottom left-hand corner, we have the current date and time. Right here, as we can see, we have two different buttons. Next, we have the dedicated lighting button, which allows us to choose between up to 4 different levels of illumination intensity. As we can clearly see right now, by simply pressing the button here, you will notice an icon with pins appearing right here on the display. We can gradually decrease the brightness level until the illumination is completely turned off. If we take a look, there are 4 levels here of intensity that decrease until they turn off completely. On the opposite side, we have the data storage button instead. By entering, we can view the various files and scroll through them with the arrows. For example, this specific example was a video, and this is a static image file. Now let's examine in much greater detail exactly how the storage and saving functions work. However, before we move any further forward, let's take a look at what is arguably the most important feature offered by this professional video endoscope, namely the ability to have precise external movement through the manual lever that we have placed directly on the handle. As we can see here, the camera head can be rotated externally with ease. What does this mean for your inspection? It means you can navigate tight spaces more effectively by controlling the camera angle without moving the entire cable. By utilizing the integrated joystick located conveniently right here on the handle, as you can clearly see in the demonstration, we have the incredible ability to rotate the camera a full 360 degrees smoothly. We can even achieve a complete continuous rotation that allows us to see everything directly behind us without any obstruction. Consequently, we truly have the remarkable possibility of getting a comprehensive and complete view of our entire surroundings at all times. In addition to this particular feature, which is essential for your workflow, we also have the possibility through the keyboard, the one located on the handle, to conveniently access two functions. One, we can rotate the view or flip the image. In fact, if we take a closer look at the screen right now, we go ahead and flip the image. In the specific event that we need to carry out a detailed inspection and need to see, to ensure that it is displayed correctly on the screen, we can simply flip it. Another useful feature is the integrated zoom function. By pressing the up arrow, this specific up arrow here, it allows us to easily access 3 different levels of digital zoom, while simultaneously maintaining, as we can clearly see, a very high image resolution throughout the process. By simply pressing the button once more, we can return the device back to its original starting position. Now, let's go ahead and run some real-world tests to actually see exactly what the view through this specialized instrument looks like for us. Here we have, for example, a tube. We have a piece with, there are several different holes visible here, including some that are remarkably small in size. We can actually see exactly what we are capable of visualizing when using this specific instrument. Now, let's go ahead and turn on the light source so that we can see everything much more clearly. And now let's take a look and see what the entire inner surface of this long hollow tube. As you can see, the image produced here is very detailed, and moreover, it's also very well focused. If we go, for example, to also perform a detailed test inside these small holes, which are just a bit larger than the camera itself, the camera is 6 millimeters wide, and here we have basically 8 millimeters. So we have about 1 millimeter of clearance on each side. We can clearly see that the resolution is really very high, and the focus is also very precise, even at a very close range, which really allows us to carry out a thorough inspection. Exceptionally and remarkably accurate, highly detailed visualizations with the real possibility of moving it to a new spot if needed. If we, for example, go back inside the tube, by carefully moving the high-resolution camera around the object, we can explore and examine every single intricate detail in real time, such as individual welds. This thorough inspection allows us to accurately identify if there are any possible structural defects or hidden irregularities located deep inside this specific component. The process of recording your findings is actually very simple and intuitive. With just a single firm press of the dedicated capture button, we can instantly save a high-quality image for later review and detailed analysis. In fact, we have successfully saved an image, and when we hold down the button, we can see that a video recording will start. In fact, if we look closely at the very top, we can clearly see that the video has already started. It is recording right now, and we can first, you need to take all the necessary measurements inside the area, and then once we press the button again, the recording will stop. At that point, the video is stopped and automatically saved to the device. Afterwards, we have the convenient option to safely remove the external memory card we use to store the data, so we can transfer the files to another computer. Simply place it in an adapter unit and connect it right into the computer's port. Once we've inserted the card, we then basically search for and find the file, the various images and videos. We can carefully review the video together. We can watch the high-quality video directly on a desktop computer, a laptop, or various other electronic devices, as well as conveniently browse through and enjoy all the digital photos we have captured. And if we've set the date and time, it will be printed directly on the image. Let's say that as far as the explanation of the functions and features of this ARW-808AL Video Endoscope by R.V. Misher is concerned, we've covered everything. For further information or clarifications, please refer to the titles shown in this video. Thank you for your attention, and see you next time.